How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of xAWxGaming. This is Cuban Cigar. We're going to continue on with Journey of Life. Last episode, we discovered that Sherwood didn't make it. Sherwood's gone. Yeah, we don't have a Sherwood, but that's okay. Someone reminded me so kindly in chat that I never finished this. So yeah. Well, that's not what I want. That's not okay. T. Okay, so that is now, I believe if I hit it, yeah. That's now the Taylor. I never relabeled this Taylor. Population 0 out of 10. Clearly I have no settlers, but I'm 100% happy. Apparently I'd rather be alone, I guess. So this episode, I think oh, that's right. That's from me destroying all the mango trees. I think what I want to do this episode is work on cooking. Okay. Cooking seems to be a very, very confusing part of Journey of Life. And even me, I sometimes am confused with exactly how the cooking works. As someone who knows the game fairly well, I also struggle with some confusion on how cooking works, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So the pot doesn't always work, and the I didn't know you could stick stuff under the bed. That's cool. It can get a little buggy sometimes, and then it's like, how do you actually cook salt and things like that? So I'm going to go look and see if I don't think I have another clay. I need to make another clay pot. That's a clay cup. Let's make a clay pot. We're going to get that baked. And then we're going to go get some salt water. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make salt, okay? Which, from what I've heard, people are having issues making salt. So let's make a clay pot, craft. And let's grab a little bit of clay and make the other clay pot in the pottery wheel. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to enter and small clay pot, which I believe if I exit, see, this is handmade clay pot. This is small clay pot. So let's go ahead and craft one of those also. And let's go get these two guys baked. Now, where is my fire starter? There it is. Let's go ahead and pick that bad boy back up. Let's put all of this clay back because we clearly don't need it anymore. And I don't need this grass patch on me either, so we're going to throw that into the storage. This thing's a mess, but I've given up on cleaning it up because the settlers will just come in, and if I ever get settlers again, they just make a mess. So I figured, what's the point? So let's get these baked. So this should be raw. Yep. And this should be raw. Yep. And then I'm going to throw a full piece of, or one of these on there. But that's where things are going to get interesting, is when I go to cook meat, you have to watch, like when you're looking at this, there'll be a level of heat, and you can see how hot it is. So that temperature, you're going to see, it's just going to skyrocket to the very, very top, which for what I'm doing right now, I want, right? That's a good thing. That I want this stuff cooked, right? Right now it's raw. Let's go. Come on. Baked. And the reason I'm doing these small ones is I've noticed that in that guy, you're never going to make salt out of the salt water in that one. But you can in these. Okay, let's turn this off. No need. Actually, you know what? We're going to let it run for a little bit. Why not? I've got extra wood. Okay, let's go down to the beach. And if we're lucky, let's put this away. Hang on a second. If we're lucky, maybe there'll be some settlers down there that need a home. Let's do that and that, and we'll see if we can get these guys filled. So let's head on down there. Let's go take a look. So what you do is you grab your containers, you get down to the beach, and you grab some salt water. Because that water over there is fresh water, right? You're never going to get salt out of that. But you might get some salt out of this. My 2 docks are still 2 docks. Not really. Nothing's happening, right? I'm getting no new settlers, so... Whoa, I didn't want to jump in the water. Jeez, buddy. Buddy. Relax. No, stop jumping in the water. This guy's a pain in the butt. I mean, come on, dude. Buddy. No. Oh, I had it. I just saw it. Hang on. Here we go. Eat a fill. And that's going to fill that one. And then I think I have to switch. Yeah. You got to make sure it's in your hand. In your right hand. Because this guy is somehow, he's only right-handed. Okay, so let's go back. Still no settlers, right? Like, it's not like somebody's standing stuck somewhere. No. Okay, fine. Whatever. T.O. Steve and Sherwood, we'll say Junior, I guess are never coming. They were like, this guy works us too hard. We're never showing up to that settlement ever again. And you know what? Fine. Whatever. I don't need no stinking settlers anyway. I can do all the work myself. It's more fun that way. Although it's kind of cool watching them work, but it is what it is. Okay. So then what you do is you toss your cups on here, and eventually the water evaporates, right? The water evaporates, and the salt rock is what's left behind. So I'm going to let this sit here, and I'm going to pause the video. And then as soon as one of these becomes salt, I guess I'll meet you guys back here. So give me just a second. I'm going to let this sit and I'll be right back. So I want you guys to see something. It takes a really long time. So as you can see the water level is starting to drain. That's because the water is evaporating. And until that water completely evaporates, you're not going to get the salt rock out of it. So this takes a really long time. And obviously the bigger the vessel, the longer it takes. So, but what I've discovered is with the big soup clay pot or the big soup pot, even when the water completely evaporates, you don't get a salt rock. So do not use that guy to make salt. Only use these smaller ones. So I just wanted to show you guys that the water level is actually going down because the water is evaporating. And you got to keep this guy nice and freaking hot. So I just keep throwing birch in there to keep the temp all the way up because that increases the speed. So if you keep that thing at full temperature, it will dissolve the water faster. So I just want to kind of take a second and show you guys how that works. So I'm just keeping an eye on this. As you can see, I'm building my little hut as I do this. So I'm doing stuff while this goes. And every once in a while, I come back and check on the temperature of the fire to make sure it's nice and hot. So I'm going to let this keep going and I'll be right back. Okay, so these guys are getting really close. And I really wanted this to be on camera. So while we sit here and watch this, and eventually you're just going to see, they're just going to pop up little rocks of salt on top of the buckets. But anyway, while we're sitting here waiting for this, I figured I would talk to you guys about subscribing to the channel. I mean, if you guys have been having a really good time, if these videos are helping you guys out, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and comment. Please, guys, comment down below. A lot of people have been doing it. It's been absolutely phenomenal. People are asking questions. People are helping each other. People are giving opinions on where they want to see the series go from here. Because I am reaching the point here very soon where I'm going to kind of run out of things to do in Journey of Life. And you guys seem to be really interested in this game. You want to watch me continue to play it. And like I said, I feel like I'm running out of things to do. I know that I still owe someone the adventure in the ravine. I have to go over there and go down and show you guys what the back of the ravine looks like. Obviously, I would save before I head over there because I could get stuck. And if you get stuck, there literally is no way out. Like once you're stuck, you're stuck. And the only way out is to kill yourself. So you just have to let yourself starve to death or dehydrate and die. And that takes a really long time. So I would go down, I would save really quick, and then I'd head over there and take you guys down there. And there still may be enough time in this episode to do this. I guess a lot of that just depends on whether or not this works. I'm starting to feel like this isn't going to work, which has happened to some people. I can't really tell if there's anything left, but what should have happened right here is a salt rock should pop up. on top. And I don't know why it's not happening. I've done this before and it has happened. So I may not have a choice but to spawn in salt. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit longer. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit longer. I'm going to reload because I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. Maybe if I reload and come back, the salt will pop up. That does on occasion work. So let me do a quick reload and come back, and then we can kind of figure this out. All right, so a reload did it. I didn't have to do anything, guys. I didn't have to spawn these in using the admin commands. I didn't have to do anything tricky. They just, I logged off, I logged back in, and there they were. And if you're wondering where my bed is, I took my bed upstairs. It's not like this thing glitched up here in between reloads. I took that in between cuts up there, and it worked. So if for some odd reason you evaporate all the water, and they don't pop up for you, as you can see, just like this, just try save, log out, and log back in, and that should help. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick these back up because I don't need those there anymore. Okay, and we're gonna put them down right here next to this because we might use these again in the future to make more salt. Now, so you can see I've got the fire nice and low. Okay. I want to show you guys something. The reason I've got the fire nice and low is I'm going to put one piece of steak on here. Okay. I want to show you guys something. You can see the temperature of the steak not climbing all the way up. Okay. It's not going to burn because the fire is barely on. Now, one of the things you can do that I like to do is move it a little bit more to the edge. Bring that temperature down just slightly. I like to keep it at about halfway. The reason you do this is you won't burn it. And by not burning it, it will not dehydrate you when you eat it. So it will still give you a little bit of water and a lot of bit of meat and obviously the health. So the way I control my fire is I grab these short solid sticks. And as you can see, there's one placed all over the floor. I pick one up and I look at my fire and I put the one in there because it doesn't bring the flame up too high. And what I've noticed is if you kind of look at the level of gas by staring at the gas can, if it sits below half, it won't get too hot and it won't burn your meat. So if I throw one more in there, we're at about half. And that's about where I try to keep it. I try to keep this at about half. I try to keep this at about half. And it takes a while for this to cook that way, but it won't burn. And by not burning, it won't dehydrate you. So we're going to sit here and we're going to baby this. It's a pain in the butt. That's why my opinion about this game is cooking isn't worth it. I cook the meat. Like I do this in a large batch. Like I throw a pile. I put like 5 of them individuals. I'll fill this whole thing up with meats and do this and cook them all at once. Because doing this one by one, obviously, it's not effective, right? It's not going to work. This is too much babysitting, in my opinion, for a video game. Now, guys, I'm actually a chef in real life. Like I cook for real, and this is a little too realistic. Like, the amount of time it takes is probably not so bad in comparison to real life. I mean, a steak this big, I mean, that thing's massive, right? Look at that thing. That looks like a freaking 36-ounce like cowboy steak or something. I mean, it's just for porterhouse. Although it doesn't have it's not a porterhouse because you don't have the New York strip and the tenderloin and the bone and whatnot. But nonetheless, that's a huge piece of meat. That would take a really long time to cook in real life. In this game, in comparison to real life, it doesn't take that long at all. But having to babysit this piece of meat on this campfire is a serious pain in the butt. So I don't recommend cooking in this game. I think it's it's a bit much. It takes forever. You have to babysit it. It really is no fun. This is the one thing in this game. This and farming, I don't enjoy. If I could have my settlers do this, then hells yeah, it'd be great. If you can assign a settler to be like a chef, and as long as he's got meat and he's got wood, he'll cook stuff. You just tell him what to cook. So as long as he's got salt, he's got meat, he's got water, and he's got all of his tools, he'll cook. Then it's worth it, right? But other than that, this is not worth it. I mean, you guys see here, I'm sitting here just talking and waiting for this thing to finally freaking be done. And it just takes forever. It literally just takes forever. And I just keep watching, and I go back and forth, and I keep watching. And notice that, the water isn't reducing on how much water this thing gives you. When it dehydrates you, the water mark will actually turn red when you've burned it. So there's definitely indications. Now, you can still eat it burnt, which is what I do. I make them, and I make them burnt because I have a freaking river right there. So water's not a problem. So the other thing you can do is just let it burn. Who cares? As long as it gives you hunger, as long as it takes up your hunger, that's all that matters, right? So what if it burns? But if you want to know how to properly cook something, this is the process. Now, again, I'm worried something's wrong because this should be cooked by now. This should be cooked by now. So I'm going to do another reload and see if that fixes my not cooking issue. So give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so that worked. I just went ahead and picked it up so it doesn't keep cooking. So as you can see, it's fully cooked, and it doesn't dehydrate you. It gives you way more hunger than it raw. So that's kind of how it took a little bit. I had to move it into the center. I had to put it like right here, roughly. But the important part is you keep that flame down below half. You keep it down there so that it doesn't burn on you. These look like they're rotten, right? Like, isn't that something? Let me take a look and see. But it doesn't say that they're rotten. That's freaking trippy. Because if I put this piece right here, you can see a major difference between that and that. But the stats remain the same. So I'm guessing meat rotting is coming, right? The game clearly has a timer already set up to change the appearance of the meat for when it's rotten. But obviously it's not quite in the game yet. So for now, you can eat rotten meat and it won't make you sick. Okay, let's put these other 4 away. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and cook the next thing. So if I grab this bucket and I press E, pot needs to be clean water. I totally forgot about that. So let's make this clean water. And this is going to take a lot of fuel. No doubt about it. It's going to take a lot of fuel because you got to get this nice and hot for this water to become clean water. It's going to take a bit. So let's go ahead and let this guy become clean water, and we're going to put that in the pot. So remember that. It has to be clean water. You can't make soup with dirty water. Okay, so there we go. We have clean water. Let's put this thing in our hands. It's got to be in your hand. Then you press E to... Why isn't it filling with water? Okay. So this thing can sometimes be buggy on its own. So sometimes you just gotta do that with it. Okay. There we go. See how I put it on the floor, put it back, it fixed itself. Okay. Let's set this guy down. Since this is nice, clean water, we're going to set that there. And we are going to put meat in there. Okay. And that's going to cook. And it's going to say that it's disgusting soup at some point. It's going to say it's not good because it says baked meat soup. That's interesting. Why did it not say disgusting soup? So what happens if I put salt in it? Nothing. So I wonder if it's because I put so much meat in there, it became meat soup. Because one of the things that'll happen if you don't put enough meat in it, it'll say disgusting soup. And if you add the salt to it, it will then say soup. So that's really interesting. Let's turn this off. So I've never actually like put that much meat into the soup pot before. So let's go grab, we might have to make ourselves another soup plate. Because I think the other one I have, both of the ones I have over there are full with lard. So let's just make another soup plate. Yeah. And we'll go get this thing crafted or baked, and then we will eat some soup. So let's go take a look here. Pretty sure I'm pretty sure this has to be baked, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's put this down here. Let's put it up there. Soup pot is already full. I know that. If I go 6, let's light this back up. Come on, buddy. Light back up. You can do it. There we go. That's interesting. This game, some stuff doesn't always work the way it did once before. Come on. Okay, it says baked, so now I can take soup. But see, it's not letting me, right? Right? Okay. That means I got to do this. And then if I take soup, I can take the soup, and now I can put it back. And now I have baked meat soup, and I believe I can drink from the pot, and that's giving me water, and it also gave me hunger. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but these both went up. And I still have a pretty good amount of soup in there. So let's set this down right here. So that's essentially how you cook. Oh, look at that. You can even see that it's meat soup. I don't know where those carrots and potatoes came from, but hey, I'll take it. So I got meat soup, I've got some steaks, I've got some rotten steaks that are safe to eat because I have an iron gut. So we're pretty much good to go. So if that's done, I don't think I have any more meat, right? No, I don't have any more meat. So I can't make the disgusting meat soup unless I go hunting for boars. And I've done that already and you guys have seen it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save. And then I'll see you guys when I get to the ravine. And we're going to go down the ravine and end the episode down there. And I'm going to get as far in as I can possibly go, just to show you guys. But I'm going to save here. Okay, I'm going to save here. And if I get stuck, I can always just reload. So give me a second until I get there and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. We're here at the ravine. Just got to let my stamina come back here before we go down there. So we're going to go down there and do a little bit of exploring. I'm going to have to light that torch that I have down here back up, but that's not a big deal. But anyways, we're going to go down here and we're just going to do a little bit of exploring. I'm not going to save while I'm down here because I really have no reason to even be here. But I made a promise to someone that I would come down and show you guys what's even deeper in there. It's just a ton more limestone, iron, and that's pretty much what it is the limestone and iron. There isn't, there might be coal, but I don't think I've even come across any coal. So let's get rid of this and let's pick, actually, I don't even need that one. Which one's better shape? Oh, wow. Well, let's just go ahead and light it then. Then we'll set it back down and we'll pick this up. Come on, pick it up. And there we go. We've got our nice little torch. We can extinguish this guy. Let's head on in there. So as you can see, I've been in here before. I've shown this to you guys before. And it's just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of nodes, right? Whether it's limestone, iron, and you can tell the iron deposits because they're red. I don't think there's any clay. I think it's all limestone and iron and the occasional coal, okay? And in here, it's hard to tell. There's limestone, there's coal. It's really hard to tell the difference between the two. But you come back here, like look at this massive iron node right there. You can come back here And I know I'm going to get stuck, guys. Like, it's inevitable. I am going to get stuck. It's like Thanos. It is inevitable. Sorry, I'm a huge Marvel fan. And let's see if I can crouch and... Okay, so we did a nice little crouch walk. That's where I came in. Let's go this way. So there, nope, nothing. Let's see if I can get across here. I've been in deeper. There we go. There we go. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So we're gonna go in there, and that's where I've gotten stuck back here. And I couldn't get out, but we're gonna see what the heck is around. There we go. Made it in. Come on. Come on. And I think this is pretty much a barrier. Like from here, it won't let you go anymore. And you can see that there's tons more to it, right? Like look at all that back there. Like, I wonder if that comes out somewhere else on the island and we will eventually be able to go back there. It's pretty freaking cool. So let's see here. See, you can't go. I can't. I'm pressing forward. Let me see here. Maybe through here. Pressing forward. It's not quite letting me in. Okay, let's go. See, I can't go under here either. So you see, it's not letting me back there. There's a giant freaking iron deposit back there. So this is pretty much all that's back here, guys. Not a whole lot. Like I said, a bunch of unnecessary resources. Well, they're not unnecessary. I mean, you need them, but there's easier ways. There's much easier ways to get to them. So you don't have to kill yourself to get down here by making that crazy contraption I made. You could gather a lot of this stuff just underneath the waterfall, like I've shown before. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. There really isn't much more to see down in this ravine. If you enjoyed the video and it helped you, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Subscribe to the channel, guys. It's helping big time. We are growing, and it's great, and I really appreciate it. Also, reminder, I do stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday over on Twitch. Links are down in the description. Come on by, say hi, hang out, ask questions, whatever. And just kind of have a good time with us. We really appreciate it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time.